Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are watching us from. I remain Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature guests who are subject matter experts on the topic of the day that helps us to share more insight on the topic. I'm glad you are able to join us today. You are most welcome. Today's topic is a topic that resonates with many of us. The idea of moving beyond a solopreneur, that is, stop being a solopreneur. An entrepreneur, as you know, we often start with the vision of building something on our own, handling every aspect of the business, and being the sole driver of our success. It feels empowering, but over time, the weight of the workload can become overwhelming. The constant juggling of tasks, the pressure to make all the decisions, and the isolation that can come with working alone is not only exhausting, but it also limits our growth. We are not able to achieve much more than we could within the same space. So today we are going to explore why it's time to stop being a solopreneur. It's about recognizing the value of collaboration, the power of a team, and the freedom that comes with sharing responsibilities. As businesses scale and evolve, so must we entrepreneurs. Moving from working in your business to working on your business involves shifting your mindset and embracing a more sustainable approach to growth. So let us take this opportunity to rethink the way we approach entrepreneurship and start building the right support system that will take our businesses to new heights, whether it's through hiring the right team, building strategic partnerships, or leveraging on technology and the transition from solopreneur to leader is very key to scaling for impact. So please remain connected as we go on a very short break. Our guest is already in the house that will help us to share more insights on this very important topic. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Being relevant in your field of occupation is proof that you are properly educated. When my parents and I were thinking about my university education, Bowen University Iwo was our first choice. Bowen University helps you to get the most of whatever course you're studying and also educates you on how to excel in a competitive labor market. From the day I arrived here, I knew when I would graduate, and my mind has been positively transformed since then. Thanks to my able lecturers. My name is Salumi. I am a medical student, a sanctuary keeper, and a violinist at Boma University. To the medical world, remember my name.
Bowen University for excellence and godliness.
You are welcome back and thank you for staying connected. Like I said before the short break, our guest is already in the house. I'll just briefly introduce her for us to welcome her. Our special guest for today's show is none other than Oluwabusayo Opayemi. Busayo is an executive assistant to C-suites. She's a trained executive assistant who has worked across different kinds of organizations, from small businesses to government agencies and multinational companies, supporting top executives and helping them stay focused on what truly matters. She studied economics at the University of Winneba in Ghana, but her career journey started in the media space as a voice-over artist, radio presenter, and sound engineer. She also spent some time teaching before her love for creativity, structure, and bringing ideas to life led her into event planning. She has managed social and corporate events for big brands like PZ Cousins, Procter and Gamble, and British American Tobacco Company. Along the line, she found her true niche, supporting executives. Today, Busayomi partners with leaders to manage their calendars, coordinate international travel, handle communication, and keep teams aligned. She is known for being proactive, detail-oriented, and calm under pressure. And I dare say that is somebody you need in your corner for success. What makes her stand out is her ability to combine structure with empathy. She understands how to keep things running behind the scenes so that leadership can focus on the big picture. Busayomi is more than just an assistant. She is a trusted right hand, a problem solver, and a professional who takes pride in making sure everything works seamlessly. I'm sure you agree with me that we have the right person in the house for this all important topic. Please join me in making welcome Busayomi Opayemi, our special guest for today. Busayomi, you are most welcome. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
you
much.
so highly for agreeing to do this for us. We do not take it for granted. Thank you for willing to share your experience with our audience. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
So, going straight to the business at hand, The first question is, what motivated you to become a solopreneur in the first place?
Um, Thank you for the question, and I hope we have a great time today. Um, so, for me, what really made me go into this was the fact that sometimes I don't know how many of us have worked with certain bosses, and we see how it's overwhelming for them. Sometimes they don't say it out, they don't, but we see how they lash out, how there's so much tension, they are pressed, they're overwhelmed, you know. And sometimes I've been seated in some board meetings, team meetings, and behind the scenes, I know what's going on. And so the thought of how do I help them be better to be able to achieve their personal goals and also the business goal, as it were. And so my being flexible, my being a supportive person naturally just made me go into that direction. And since then it's all the way. I've been going that way all the way.
That is very good. I think some of us can actually identify with that. Now, having said that, from your experience, what would you say are the personal or professional challenges that can be faced by a solopreneur? Did you get that question?
Okay. The most of the challenges I've come to realize. Yes, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So most of the challenges that I've come to identify is the fact that most of them wear so many hats. They they are the ones who are they have the ideas, they have the concepts, they want to execute it, they want to do all of that, and it's overwhelming. It's a lot to handle. It's so much to chew at a time. And so I've noticed that that in itself is a challenge, bigger picture. It doesn't allow them go further in doing bigger things, maybe driving sales or in their publicity, depending on what their objectives are, basically. So I've noticed that that has usually been the major challenge. Thank you.
Okay. So with that, would you have concern or you feel there could be problem in terms of long-term sustainability of a solopreneur in terms of a business model?
Yes, there is high possibility for them to have challenges of sustainability because like they say, health is wealth. If somebody is burning out, then where is the strength, where is the ability to run further? So it's usually an issue of they can't sustain it over time. So yeah, I totally I'm in that space of it's not sustainable.
So in addition to burning out, of course, the age factor comes in. What you are able to do when you
Over time.
are young gets reduced as the age issues set in,
Sets in.
and then you
Yes.
can even have issues of what we all pray against, health challenges. So
Mm-hmm.
being on your own, then these things will get reduced in terms of tempo or even stop. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree with you that wise. So how can being a solopreneur impact work-life balance?
Hmm.
Because we have just mentioned that in some of the example we have given that yes, health challenges can come in, you have family issues, you have other things that compete with your time. So how can being a solopreneur impact work-life balance? How do you achieve work-life balance when you're a solopreneur?
Ah, okay. To to achieve this, in all honesty, I always believe that work-life balance is not totally achievable. Let's be honest. Something would always feel it. It's either work is more, a little bit more, maybe 60% to 40%, or the other way around, maybe, but that you get a 50-50%, rarely. But there is always an impact. You, as a person, as a leader, um, aside the fact, like you said, that we shouldn't, it's not just about the whole burning out. Sometimes you also need to be able to reflect. Sometimes you need to refreshen yourself. And so it's very important that um, like we all know, when one thing suffers, another thing will be affected. Even as an individual that we are, if somebody is having stress in marriage, we see it play out in the workplace. And if we see somebody having stress at work, we see it play out also in their marriage or family, as it were. And so it's important that you always have support, you have help, you have people work with you, to help manage other things so that you can also focus on family. Like where I work, family is very important. And so we try as much as possible to strike the balance. Um, and same thing has to happen even as an entrepreneur or whoever you are, wherever you're working or whatever you're doing. You must ensure that you are able to find a support system that would allow you have that. Let me use the word balance, even though we know that sometimes it's hard to achieve it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It is hard to achieve, but it's not impossible. It's a
Yes.
matter of arranging yourself and being intentional about it. So that's a topic for another day. So, so what will it mean to transition
Mm.
from solopreneur? Because see, that is what we are advising people to stop being a solopreneur. What
Yes.
is involved in transitioning from a solopreneur to a more collaborative or team-based business model?
Okay. First, I think I would say is that you need to first trust that somebody else can help you. You need to be true to yourself, like I always say. Be true to yourself that you can't do it all. It's not a one man mopo. you know, you can't handle everything by yourself. So the first thing is to be true to yourself. Just like we see many of us, many entrepreneurs or business owners or solopreneurs, you see businesses you admire and you want to be like. But if you look at it, it is not just one person running it, it's not just one person in it. A team of people have come together. There has been collaboration, there has been help here and there. And so you shouldn't just assume that if I don't do it by myself, it will not work well. There will be errors, there will be mistakes, balls will be dropped. But then with time, you know, we will be able to develop a proper system with your help, with your support, or whoever you're collaborating with, and you will evolve into having a proper um, business model, as it were.
Okay. The truth be told, many of the solopreneurs' businesses might
Mm-hmm.
not really be scalable
Hmm.
by the very nature of their businesses. So, to that extent, what limitation does one face in growing a business alone versus when a team is involved?
Hmm.
Keeping in mind, of course, the scalability of such businesses.
Yes, in all honesty, not all companies will become a multinational. Yes, some would always be at that level, which is fine. I think it's even, some businesses are already built to just manage a set of people. But one thing I can assure you that what limitation or struggle you have is you will burn time when you do it alone. You will burn time. So the time you probably would have used to go talk to a customer or an investor or something, you are probably handling some administrative work. You are probably still battling with how to contact someone or send a communication out. You know, the you would burn energy plus physical energy plus mental energy. You are going to burn all of that. You know, it's different when you have people who are handling certain things and also even expertise. You are okay, yes, you own your company, you're the accountant, you're the admin officer, you're the one collecting money and all of that. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of burning out, like we said, from time to energy to expertise and all of that. You won't be able to focus, you know, to go further. Even if you're not able to scale further than what it's supposed to be, but at least you should be able to achieve in a good time, in a, you know, over time, yes.
Okay, that's that is true. Then, if we now think of it, because the main subject is stop being solopreneur, that presupposes that along the line our business is going to grow
Yes.
for us to accommodate this team that we are preaching.
Mm-hmm.
So, how can expansion or diversification of a business be without burning out or sacrificing quality?
Collaboration. That's the new currency, collaboration. I was just chatting up with someone today in church, you know, and we're just gisting. And he jokingly said that he had always said to himself when he was small that he doesn't want to beg for money ever in his life. He always just wants to be able to have all the money by himself. And I said, what happened to favor? We all sing favor and pray for favor. So what happens? Then it's not important. And what I said is sometimes you don't even need to have the money in your pocket. You just need to have the right network of people. You know, oh, I need this. You call this person, is giving you this. I need that. I'm calling this person, is giving me that, and all of that. So what I'm saying in essence is that collaboration is very, very key for you to be able to expand, you know. And for solopreneurs that are just starting off, you might have a friend somewhere who is an expert in accounting. You can have a family that is an HR expert or whatever, depending on the field you're in. You need to leverage on the people around you to support you if you really are going to expand and not burn out.
Very correct. Like they say, your network is what determines your net worth.
Your
And
network.
collaboration, I would say to
Yes.
our listeners, is a way. In the meantime, when you are not able to go full hog of having maybe light team or something like that, it's a way to get out of the doldrum of
Hmm.
solopreneurship, because then you still have that extra
Yes.
resources, even though you are still in control, so to say. And when we are at it, we need to encourage ourselves that, like she was saying, the person that said, I want to have all the money by myself or alone and all that. You want to think of eating the tail of an elephant vis-a-vis the whole body of an ant, which is just a tiny or microscopic uh, portion of the tail of an elephant. So if we look at it that way,
Yeah.
yes, when you want to be in control, you can be MD, CEO, and all that, but where does that take you? But that's not to
Hmm.
discourage who are still solopreneur. Most businesses start like that. You have a need you are
Yeah.
fulfilling, but we are talking about growth. If you want to grow, definitely you need to have a change of mindset from solopreneurship to a broader, uh, wider part of the entrepreneurship spectrum. So thank you very much
Yeah.
for that, because I didn't want our listener to feel, oh, everything is bad from being solopreneur. That's how it starts. That's how it starts. But
But
we
then,
have the vision of expansion, and that's why we are talking about it right now.
yes.
Now, what is the
Mm.
basis of consideration for hiring employees or outsourcing specific parts of the business?
I don't think you will just hire because you feel like hiring or because you hear that there is a risk manager in a company, so you want to employ a risk manager in a company that doesn't need it. So I feel that you need to identify what are the needs of the company. What are the things, what are the roles that you have
You
to
have
be
to
filled.
fulfill.
So if it's, yes, exactly. So if you say that for every business, I'm sure an accountant is very important, number one, in short. And mommy, mommy is an expert.
No, I've just
Yes,
appreciated
so
you.
because, yeah,
That's a profession that is even important in heaven, I'm
exactly.
told.
Oh, yes, so because even the Bible talks about you take account before you start working,
And then
so
a book
so
was
it's very
opened for
important
that
that you
for the book.
identify what are the needs of the business.
Mm.
Yeah, so you need to identify what are the needs of the business. You need to also identify what is consuming your time. Sometimes there are some roles that you might not know is necessary or is needed in a company, but what is consuming your time? If I take off marketing from my time or sales as an entrepreneur from my time, you know, would that help me focus on pursuing investors? Would that help me focus on something else, or rebranding or strategies and all of that? Yes, then you should use the needs to be able to identify the people you need to hire and employ. If you need to merge roles, fine, because I know some companies do that. I mean, like small business. So you don't need to necessarily, there are some roles that can come together, as it were. So, yeah.
Okay, I think you really hit the nail on the head. It's not just follow the Joneses, even if your business is in the same industry or in the line of maybe a colleague or neighbor. You need to identify the uniqueness of your own business and the requirements. Don't just say, oh, that person has because it sounds nice, I have an accountant. If you cannot afford an accountant to start with, you may just have to do with somebody coming in once in a while to help you do the bookkeeping.
Yes.
When you grow to the extent of hiring one, of course, please do that. And we must sit down and look at the needs of our businesses. And that is only the way we can operate more effectively. We have a contribution from Taiwo Ojo from Abuja. She's saying, as a solopreneur, how do you search for a trustworthy partner that will not take the business from
From you
you
in the
in the
future.
future? I think this is a very common concern of entrepreneurs and the solopreneur in particular,
Yeah.
both for partnership, and she has just addressed the next question I have, so maybe you can speak to it,
Okay.
both for partnership and even employees, because sometimes if you do not have the right person, you can have an employee that can eventually be your undoing. yet you cannot do this job alone. You cannot do all the work alone. I don't know the business you can actually do alone effectively. So those are the things that you need to really, really strategize to make sure that you get the right mix. If you are looking into partnership, which yes, we say it's good to go in a partnership with someone, you have to be sure that you've done your due diligence. You've checked the background, the character traits of such persons. It's not just coming to discuss the business at hand and then you feel comfortable, oh, this person has this knowledge, but much more than maybe the operation of the business, the character traits, the background check, and what kind of reference can you
Exactly.
have from those
Reference.
people who have worked with them or partner with them. So all those ones you need to do to make sure that you have the confidence to go into partnership. And some people they may have what you desire, but because of the character traits that is not you are not able to
Character.
tick the boxes there, you may just do on the need to have basis, not on a partnership relationship. Maybe on a particular job you spell your conditions, both of you agree on the conditions, make sure that you have a legal binding document that safeguard your interest. And once that particular job or business is done, everybody go their separate ways until another opportunity comes. That's another way to do that. So maybe with Busayomi can also chip in on that because it's a very important thing that I believe resonates with many people.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think everything you said is very, very valid. One of the points that I like to hold on to majorly is the fact that you have to. I know it's common now, but referencing, you can't really know somebody you're meeting for the first time. It's important to do background checks, find out who has worked with you before, what was your character like. Some people have skill, they don't have character. Some people have character, they don't have skill. And that can be detrimental to you as a business owner and to the entire business as it were. And then I would like to also mention that trust is not also built in a day. You don't just earn it in a day. For um, for what I've learned over time, I've come to realize that bit by bit, you get to, you know if you can totally entrust certain information to people. If I'm talking to solopreneurs that are just starting off, really, when you have one or two people you are working with, little by little, you release some information with them and see how they manage it, and over time, you'll be able to establish if this person is trustworthy or not, if you can continue with them or not. So it's important that you do your background check, do referencing, call, ask around. If you can go to their neighborhood self, go and ask what kind of person is this person and all of that. So yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So I hope that helps on the question asked by Taiwo Uju. Very good question, and I'm sure we have been able to borrow one leaf or the other from it. Now, when we are
Video
looking
off.
at
Video is off.
impact of solopreneur, we also have to look on the side of financial stability and risk. So how would you assess this in terms of transition to a team-based structure? That is when you are trying to consider, should I transition or still stay the way I am? So what is the risk in staying the way you are? What is also the financial stability required in transitioning to team-based structure?
So I think what I would like to always advise is you should first of all leverage on the people around you, you know, before you get, if you are not at that crossroad where you don't have anybody, you know, then we can move into that level of crossing over. There is usually there's inconsistency when it comes to the financial risk, you know. But then if you're looking at the financial risk, you should also look at the benefit that comes back eventually. Um, what do I mean? If you are spending money, for example, on an accountant, you know, that is maybe like we see in most of the recruitment, we see 1 to 3 years, you know, years of experience. You know, you work within a budget you can manage. Now, having that person doing that work, though you are going to be paying that person, you know, it might not be monthly, it might be project based, it might be once in a while, it might be weekly, it might be part-time job. You know, you can also embrace remote work, hybrid, depending on what kind of business you're doing. um, the impact of your returns is the fact that you'll be able to pursue bigger things. There's nothing else I can say than the fact that it allows you to pursue bigger things. And when you're able to meet your goals for and your objectives, you know, it brings back, I don't know which goal is not profitability, any company that or any business that it's goal is not profitability in that sense. You're able to meet up and cover up for the cost you have already spent on the accountant. But if you don't get an accountant and you are doing an accounting work, you have lost the opportunity of getting another business. Or what I mean is maybe like sales or meeting someone and all of that. So like there's an opportunity cost at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take a contribution in terms of question on one of our online audience. That is Damilola. I will come back to Dempsey Wabi. Damilola Owuaje asks, as an individual online business owner, how do you expand the business? It's into online business and is looking into expansion. So what do you have to say to me?
Let me first say hello, Damlola. Welcome online. Now the thing is, yeah, in one of the right space, yeah, online. Let me tell you, many people are even trying to enter the online in the first place, but you have already entered the online. Now, what you can do is look into tools that can help push your business. If you're somebody who is already tech savvy, what I mean is the fact that you can use your mobile phone to do your business already, and you have a good network of people. You're on plenty WhatsApp group. Let me start with that one. Or you're on plenty Telegram platforms. Go and push your content there. Ensure that you know you're putting yourself in the faces of people. There are other platforms you can be on. We already know how you can be on Instagram and all of that. It's in the consistency for anything you do online. It's the consistency, the fact that you top of mind. Your business is always coming to the faces of people. If I don't need something today, I will need it tomorrow. So that's why you would need to consistently do that. And if you're not skilled in that aspect, let's now assume that this person is not so good with using their device to, then this is a part where you might need a social media handler, you know, who has a bit of expertise in that to help you, you know, structure how your communication goes, your publicity and your sales goes. You understand? Some most social media people, some of them nowadays They also handle sales backend, and you can handle your sales backend. All they need to do is help just push the business out. It comes back to you. So you should either look at it. Do I have, if your skills are up to date, then go ahead all out, be in the faces of people, and even big brands that we know they are in our face, even though we already know them. Because tell me why some of these brands are still advertising. They've been there since 1900s or 1800s. So just keep at it. Consistency is all you need. And if you need help, reach out to someone.
Thank you very much. That is very important. In addition to what I just said, the element of trust is very important. When I say trust, people must be able to trust you. Those who have come across your business and have dealings with you. Why some people are skeptical about online businesses, because some will say they are not traceable, and you part with your money, you will not even get what you have paid for. It has happened to me before, and
Me
with
too.
some of some people was beating 100 times shy.
Shy.
So what you want to build, you want to really build that trust, to make sure that you are transparent. What you promise is what you keep, and that alone can earn you referral that you don't even have to pay for.
Yes.
When people have patronized you and they know you are genuine and what you promise is what you deliver, people, word of mouth can even go wider to expand your business than what you can do on your own. So that's very key, just in addition to what our guest
Mm-hmm.
said. And there's before I take the contribution from Dr. Asain, there's a question also that from Dempsey Wavid, that what are the foundational qualities or qualifications required to be a solopreneur?
Ma, I will leave it to you to answer that one.
Okay, well, I think straight away it is for you to have entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneurial mindset is what is required here, because when we are talking of solopreneur, that's already presupposes that you have that mindset that you want to be an entrepreneur. The solopreneur aspect is because you are still going it alone, so it's still in the same realm of being an entrepreneur. It's just that the business is yet to expand and you are doing it on your own. So for you to have that, you must have the can do spirit, the resilience to be able to pursue your goal, and then the passion to see it through. Those are the important thing. It's not qualification like a degree or anything. You must have it in you, or try to build that trait. If you don't have it in you, most entrepreneurs have it in them, the desire to impact. Is It goes beyond profit, because sometimes it's not all entrepreneurship that's focused on profit, yet you need a bit of it to sustain your business. But the usual entrepreneurs are burning desire to make a difference, to also contribute to the development of the economy, and to make something out for themselves, and through that others are being impacted. So if you need to just put this as boxes to check. If you are able to check some of this, like 80% of what I've said, then you already have the qualification. But if you do not, if you are not able to check up to 50% of this trait, that doesn't mean you should lose hope. We are encouraging more people to think in like manner. You just have to um, go through some tutelage or mentorship to how to build yourself to that stage. I hope Dempsey find that useful. But if you need any other help, you can reach out to us. Maybe offline, online, you can reach out to us. Feel free. We have a contribution from Dr. Asain, apart from the one he gave before. For an online business, you must monitor customers' feedback and respond quickly to build trust. That's a very good one for Damilola, who's into online business, and other people in that line. We must monitor the customers' feedback. The feedback actually help us to meet customers' desires and to satisfy customer. And once you have a satisfied customer, okay, where is Tunde David? Okay, sorry, madam, please let Busayomi know that them see where is Tunde David. Okay, that's a message for you, Busayomi. So, like I was saying, when you get good feedback, you know you are doing well. Even the bad feedback is also necessary because it helps you to address areas that you are not doing very well, and then make sure that you up your game so that you get customer satisfaction, which is very important in any business, online, offline. You need customer satisfaction for you to grow, for you to expand your business. I hope that has helped. Thank you very much for your contribution, Dr. Aseyin. There was another contribution you made, Sir Dr. Aseyin. Um, Maybe media can quickly help to put that up because that one came while Dempsey was asking that question. Media, can you get okay? Thank you. Dr. Aseyin contributed with this comment. Solopreneur must be based on providing solutions to people's problems, and that also in a way adds to the answer of I think it's Dempsey also. Providing you must be able to provide solution. There's something you are doing to meet people's need. He must he must do so passionately, consistently, and being self-motivated. So also speaking to some of the would-be qualification that of being solopreneur or entrepreneur. I would just say entrepreneur in this wise. Thank you very much for those
Mm.
useful contributions, Dr. Asein. So we'll move on quickly. We don't have any other contribution. So we talked about the transition. Then let's look at the skill gaps and knowledge sharing aspect. How do we assess lack of expertise or skills that could be addressed by hiring specialists for our businesses, of course?
Sorry. Okay, please come again with the question. Sorry, the network went off.
No, I'm saying in some businesses,
Mhm.
you have some skill gaps or knowledge requirements that you may have to share from maybe colleagues or people in like manner. So, how do you assess the lack of expertise or skill that could be addressed by hiring? How do you assess that you are lacking a particular skill in your business or knowledge in your business that could be filled with hiring of
Hiring someone.
experts? Yes.
Okay. One of the things you would identify is the fact that there is a loophole in that area, in that field. Um, Depending on what it is. When you notice that there is a particular challenge or you are wasting so much time to achieve something, or you are not able to go past a certain thing, then at that point you should know as a business owner that I need expertise here. I need help at this point. Anything that is consuming your time, you should know already that um, that's that's a pointer. Anything that is not allowing you to achieve, sometimes at least I've been with some businesses and I've seen how that the like a woman's business that I supported at a point before I came in. She was always managing strategy sessions, ex, the conceptualization, and then she has to do a presentation, a deck, and go and pitch it to the cost to the client. And then if she wins the if she wins the what's it called now proposal and all of that, she has to figure out how to execute it and all of that. It's a lot of work, and it just kept taking so much of her time. The one she would have used to go and meet another company, another client, and all of that, she was spending it in trying to do presentations, trying to do decks, trying to do those kind of things. So at that point, she realized that actually I need help. That's why I started with saying that be true to yourself. You know, you can't do it all. So when you identify anything that takes your time or anything that you really don't have expertise in, you can't do it, and the business needs it, then it's time to get an expert.
Thank you very much. Getting an expert also in terms of what we are saying, your resources cannot carry you through at that particular moment. Then the other aspects that we have talked about is something that you can explore. That is collaborating with others who can bring complementary skills to our businesses. It can be less costly than engaging outrightly or engaging experts. If you can
Yes.
afford it, of course, do that. And if you know it's something that is needed on a long-term basis, surely you have to do that. But the other way out, of course, is collaboration. You have people you collaborate with that already have the skills you are looking at that can bring that complementary skills into your business at maybe a cheaper rate if you so desire. So that's another way to address that.
Sorry, let me chip this in also. The fact that you might also have people that are expert that you cannot pay for their services. You can actually reach out to them. They will have mentees, they will have younger ones who can always support you, and that way you can, it also helps to support whatever loopholes or challenges you have as a business.
That's also another key area to explore. So how can the isolation of being a solopreneur affect our emotional and mental health?
I like the smile on your face, Ma, because it's we all know,
Yes.
how nowadays when boys shout, my mental health, I beg, my mental health, God, I beg. So, honestly, if you're a business owner, you're a solopreneur, we hail you and we're
It's a
celebrating
challenge.
what you are doing. But in all honesty, it is a lot you're taking in, you're doing. And it's going to affect you emotionally because there are times when things won't go the way you want it. And there's no buffer, there's nobody in between to receive it before it gets to you most of the times. And so it comes to you directly, so it will affect you emotionally. You see some business owners, they can cry, you know you see some even mental health too. It can be so overwhelming, and you are alone in it because nobody sees what you see, nobody knows the dreams you have. A whole lot, and you want to achieve it, you want to get there, but so it's, yes, it's going to really affect your mental health and emotion. But but what you can do, like we also just find a way to share the load. Just find a way to share the load, or you spread. spread your task, spread it in a way that it doesn't overwhelm you, because we are celebrating solopreneurs, so it's not that we're saying it's a bad position to be in, but so that you don't affect your mental health and your emotions and your physical health too. Sometimes overwork can cause stroke. We saw things and heard things like that. So it's important that you either spread and find time to rest, find time to relax, so that you don't burn out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a common knowledge for any entrepreneur, especially starting out as a solopreneur. But the good thing is that is why the issue of networking comes in. Please, by all means, any industry you are going into or you are in already, try and find some like-minded people. It's not everybody that want to share. We also have that
Mm,
malady in this part of our world, that some people are skeptical. They don't want you to take the trade secret, so to say. They don't want to share, but it's not going to be in all cases.
yes.
Try and see how you can be in a network, in a group, for the particular industry, particular business you are into, so that some things have happened in the past to people that you do not have to reinvent the wheel. You do not have to go through that pain they have been through. And just talking to them, they can just give you
Mhm.
the solution right there. And that takes a lot of weight off you. And apart from maybe
Of
getting
you.
solution immediately,
Mm.
they say a problem shared is a problem half solved. So having somebody that understands the rudiments of what you are talking about, to even give you a listening ear, can also reduce this problem of mental health that we all try to run away from. But by all means, try to run away from mental health, because you need to be alive and healthy before your business can thrive. The time is fast spent. We are not even halfway on our list. Maybe we'll think of having another session on this very important topic, because I believe it resonates with many of us. I'll quickly take this contribution. Only the living,
The
yeah, you are right.
living.
Only the living can do business. So work-life balance is key.
Yes.
A solopreneur very truly said. Thank you, Dr. Asen. I just at this juncture have to like it added that says you would like to chew the meat for longer, but the throat or whatever is in the throat, that is maybe it's esophagus or whatever it is that is in our throat, is also trying to draw the meat from us. So we'll try and see if we can schedule another session on this very important topic. We are running out of time right now. I want to appreciate our guest today uh, for doing us very proud and sharing more insights on this very important topic, and letting us to take part of our Sunday evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Opayemi. Thank you
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
coming on Connect with Comfort Show, and for the experiences you have shared today. I also want to appreciate some of our online guests that have joined us today. The time is running fast, so I need to be fast with it. Taiwo Ojo, one of our usual follower from Abuja. Ayeni Samuel from Lagos, thank you for joining. Banjo Bayode, Dempsey, is it Wavidi now? He said it's today. I'm sure it's known. The person is known to
David.
Mr. Ayomi, Tunde David. Okay. Damilola Owuaje, of course, Dr. Aseyin, Bella Aseyin from Abuja, that has been contributing so very well. Thank you all very much. And those that have not been able to call your name, that you are there, we thank you for joining us. And please keep on following Connect with Comfort Show, so that you can also benefit from the little we're able to share. I'll quickly wrap up this session by saying success is not a solo journey. While the idea of being a solopreneur might seem empowering, being in complete control of your business, it often leads to burnout that we've discussed on this show, isolation that could cause mental health, and missed opportunities because it does not give us time to do other things. The truth is, we all need a team, whether it's for support, collaboration, or simply sharing the load. Building relationships, delegating tasks, and seeking guidance from others isn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. Embrace the power of collaboration. Find members and that can share your burden. Find also mentors. Hire people who complement your strengths and surround yourself with like-minded individuals who can help elevate your vision. So let go of the myth that you need to do it all alone. Together, we can achieve so much more. So as we round up on this segment today, I appreciate all of you joining online. I appreciate you highly. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Comfort Eyitayo. And once you have done that, subscribe. Please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, let us step out of the solopreneur mindset and build the support team that will help us reach greater heights. Thank you all for joining today. God bless you.